The chevrons locked with mechanical precision, each engagement echoing through the gate room at Stargate Command like the countdown to something inevitable. Colonel Jack O'Neill watched the event horizon establish, that shimmering vertical pool of impossible physics that still made his brain itch even after 5 years of stepping through it. Today's mission, P3X421, Uninhabited Forest World, Preliminary Survey for Potential Alpha Site. Routine. Boring. Exactly the kind of mission that never stayed that way. SG-1, you have a go! General Hammond's voice crackled through the speakers. Jack adjusted his P90 and glanced at his team. Major Samantha Carter checked her equipment with the methodical precision of someone who actually understood the science behind the giant alien ring. Daniel Jackson clutched his archaeology kit like it contained the secrets of the universe, which, knowing Daniel, it probably did. TLC stood motionless, staff weapon ready, eyebrow primed for the inevitable weirdness. "Kids, let's take a walk," Jack said, and led them through the gate. The wormhole's cold embrace lasted a heartbeat, reality dissolving and reconstructing according to laws the ancients had mastered millions of years ago. They emerged into a forest that could have been Montana if Montana had purple-tinted trees and 2 moons visible in the afternoon sky. The MALP data had been accurate. Temperate, breathable atmosphere, no signs of civilization or Goa'uld presence. What the MALP hadn't mentioned was the gamma radiation signature that made Carter's detector start screaming 30 seconds after arrival. "Sir, I'm reading off the scale gamma emissions," Carter reported, her voice tight with the kind of concern that meant they should probably be running. "Point source, approximately 2 clicks northeast. This shouldn't be possible on a pre-industrial world." "Define off the scale," Jack said, already knowing he wouldn't like the answer. "Chernobyl levels. Sustained. Without apparent decay." Carter's fingers flew across her equipment. "Whatever's generating this would require technology we don't have. Even the Goa'uld don't typically." The forest exploded. Not with fire, but with sound, a roar that stripped leaves from trees and sent local wildlife fleeing in every direction. It was a sound of pure rage, primal and terrifying. The kind of noise that bypassed the brain's rational centers and went straight to the lizard stem that remembered when humans were prey. "Defensive positions!" Jack barked, and SG-1 moved with practiced efficiency, P90s aimed toward the disturbance. Through the purple foliage came a man. Except, man, didn't quite cover it. He was massive, 8 feet tall and built like a tank had mated with a mountain. Green skin that looked thick as armor plating. Muscles that defied anatomical possibility. Eyes that burned with incandescent fury. He wore the tattered remains of purple pants and nothing else, his body radiating heat like a furnace. The creature, because Jack's brain refused to classify this as human, took 3 thundering steps forward, saw SG-1, and stopped. For one impossible moment, they stared at each other across 30 meters of alien forest. Jack's finger rested on the P90's trigger, knowing with absolute certainty that 5.7mm rounds would be about as effective as throwing pebbles at a freight train. Then the green giant's eyes rolled back, his massive frame shuddered, and he began to shrink. It took maybe 15 seconds. The emerald skin faded to normal human tones. The impossible musculature collapsed into the frame of an average-built man, maybe 5'9", thin, wearing nothing but those purple pants. He stumbled, caught himself against a tree, and looked at SG-1 with eyes that held exhaustion and something that looked like despair. "Please," the man said, his voice hoarse and utterly human. "Don't shoot. I'm not. I'm in control right now. My name is Bruce Banner, and I need help." Then he collapsed. Carter was already moving, scanner in one hand, moving cautiously toward the unconscious man. "Gamma signature dropping to background levels," she reported. Whatever just happened, the radiation source was him. "Daniel, you getting this?" Jack asked, keeping his weapon trained on Banner's prone form. "Oh, I'm getting it," Daniel said, camera recording every moment. "Jack, did we just witness some kind of transformation? Like a..." "Do not say werewolf," Jack interrupted. Do not make me think about werewolves on top of everything else we deal with. TLC moved closer, studying Banner with the analytical gaze of a warrior who'd seen strange things across 100 worlds. I sense no Goa'uld presence, O'Neill. This human appears to be neither Jaffa nor host. Yet the transformation suggests abilities beyond normal human capacity. Yeah, TLC, I noticed the 8-foot green rage monster, Jack said. He keyed his radio. Hammond, we've got a situation. Requesting immediate medical evac and containment protocols. We've found a survivor. Human. Probably. Banner stirred, consciousness returning. His eyes opened, brown, intelligent, haunted, and found Jack's face. You're military, Banner said, the observation carrying layers of meaning Jack didn't like. American, from your gear. But that device behind you, that's not human technology, is it? Where am I? That's a complicated question with a classified answer, Jack replied. How about you start with how you got here and what the hell you just turned into? Banner closed his eyes. I was running. There was an accident with gamma radiation. An experiment. I've been on the run for months, trying to stay away from people, trying to control him. I found what I thought was an abandoned facility. There was some kind of portal, unstable, generating massive energy. The military was closing in. I didn't have a choice. I went through. He looked at the Stargate, recognition dawning. That's a wormhole generator. Einstein-Rosen bridge made solid. You're not just military. You're running an off-world operation through stable wormholes. My God! Carter's eyebrows rose. You understood what the Stargate does just by looking at it. I have 7 PhDs, Banner said quietly. Physics, nuclear physics, biology. I spent years studying gamma radiation and its effects on cellular structures. Before the accident, I was trying to recreate the super soldier serum. I succeeded. Sort of. The gamma radiation merged with my genetic code, created something new. Something I can't control when I'm angry. His voice dropped. Something you should be very afraid of. Already there. Jack confirmed. He made a decision that Hammond would probably yell at him for later. Carter, get him on his feet. Daniel, help her. TLC, keep that staff weapon handy. Dr. Banner, you're coming back with us. You're going to answer a lot of questions. You're going to explain how a human scientist ends up on an alien planet in the middle of nowhere. And then we're going to figure out what to do with you and your angry green friend. Banner struggled upright with Carter's help. You have no idea what you're dealing with. That's what makes it Tuesday, Jack said. Welcome to the Stargate program, Doctor. Try not to smash anything important. If you want to see more characters enter different universes, hit that subscribe button and drop the name of a character and the universe you'd want to see them in down in the comments below. Indeed. The walk back to the gate was tense. Banner moved like a man carrying an enormous weight, every step careful, every breath measured. Carter peppered him with questions about the transformation, the gamma radiation signature, the physics of his arrival. Daniel asked about the experiment, the ethical implications, whether Banner had been pursued. TLC simply watched, staff weapon ready for the first sign of green. Jack called ahead for containment protocols. Whatever Bruce Banner was, whatever the Hulk represented, Earth's defenses had just encountered something new. And in the Stargate program, new always meant complicated. The event horizon shimmered before them. Banner stared at it with the wonder of a scientist seeing the impossible made real. Remarkable, he whispered. Absolutely remarkable. Yeah, it never gets old, Jack agreed. Now step through before I change my mind about bringing a gamma-powered rage monster to Cheyenne Mountain. They went through together, leaving P3X421's purple forest behind. In the SGC gate room, klaxons blared as SG-1 emerged with an unscheduled addition. Security teams surrounded the gate, weapons trained. Medical personnel stood ready with gurneys and equipment. General Hammond watched from the control room, his expression grim. Bruce Banner took one look at the Iris mechanism, the Naquadah generators, the ancient technology repurposed for Earth's defense, and smiled despite everything. "I think," he said quietly, "I've found people who might actually understand what I'm dealing with." Jack hoped that was true. Because if the Hulk emerged in the middle of Stargate Command, containment protocols wouldn't mean a damn thing. The isolation cell in sublevel 19 had been designed to hold Goa'uld hosts during extraction procedures, reinforced titanium walls, electromagnetic containment fields, enough sedatives piped through the ventilation to drop a Jaffa in 30 seconds. General Hammond stood behind 6 inches of ballistic glass, studying the man sitting calmly on the examination table while Dr. Janet Fraser took blood samples. "Heart rates elevated but stable," Fraser reported through the intercom. "Blood pressure normal for someone under stress. But General, the gamma radiation in his cellular structure. I've never seen anything like this. His cells are saturated with it, yet he shows no signs of radiation poisoning. It's as if the radiation is part of his biology now." Bruce Banner sat perfectly still, letting her work. He'd been cooperative since arrival, answering questions with scientific precision, explaining the accident that created the Hulk in terms even Jack could almost follow. "Almost. 7 PHES, Hammond said, reading the preliminary report Carter had compiled. "Nuclear physics from Caltech. Multiple peer-reviewed papers on gamma radiation effects. Worked on classified government projects before his accident." He looked at Banner through the glass. "This man's credentials are remarkable." "So's his other half," Jack commented from beside Hammond. "Sir, I've seen a lot of weird things come through that gate. Goa'uld, replicators, ascended beings. But I've never seen a human turn into an 8-foot rage monster and back again. What are we supposed to do with him?" "That depends on whether Dr. Banner is an asset or a threat," Hammond replied. "Major Carter?" Carter looked up from her laptop, where she'd been reviewing Banner's explanations of his transformation. "Sir, if even half of what Dr. Banner says is accurate, his understanding of gamma radiation and cellular biology could advance our Naquadah reactor research by years." He grasped the principles of gate travel in minutes. He identified weaknesses in our containment field design just by looking at it. "And the Hulk?" Hammond pressed. Carter's expression tightened. "Unknown variable. Banner claims the transformation is triggered by elevated heart rate, essentially anger or fear. The Hulk operates on instinct, rage-driven, with strength that increases proportionally to anger levels. He described throwing a tank a quarter-mile, surviving direct artillery hits. The gamma radiation signature we detected could be seen as a weapon, General, but Banner insists he's spent months trying to suppress it, not weaponize it. The NID will want him," Jack said flatly. "Big green super soldier? They'll be drooling." As if summoned by pessimism, the control room door opened. Colonel Harry Mayborn walked in with the entitled confidence of someone who believed classified clearance meant classified ethics. "General Hammond," Mayborn said smoothly, "I've been briefed on your alien acquisition. The NID would like to take custody of Dr. Banner for proper evaluation." "Dr. Banner isn't an acquisition, Colonel," Hammond replied, his voice carrying the weight of absolute authority. "He's a human being who came through the Stargate seeking help. This facility operates under my command, and Dr. Banner remains in SGC custody until I determine otherwise." Mayborn's smile didn't reach his eyes. "With respect, General, a man who can transform into a gamma-powered weapon falls under NID jurisdiction. National security implications alone." "Are you suggesting Stargate Command can't handle national security?" Hammond's tone could have frozen stars. "Colonel Mayborn, unless you have direct authorization from the Joint Chiefs, you can take your jurisdiction and get off my base." The two officers stared at each other. Mayborn broke first, offering a thin smile. "Of course, General. But the NID maintains interest in this situation. We'll be monitoring developments." He left. Jack exhaled slowly. "That's going to be a problem," he said. Everything's a problem until we solve it, Colonel. Hammond replied. Right now, I want to know if Dr. Banner is telling us the truth. Major Carter, Dr. Jackson, you're with me. We're going to have a conversation. Inside the isolation cell, Banner looked up as Hammond entered with SG-1. Fraser had finished her examination and stepped back, though Jack noticed she kept one hand near the emergency sedative controls. Dr. Banner, Hammond began. You've been cooperative, and we appreciate that. But I need complete honesty. You claim you're running from the military. From what, specifically? Banner's jaw tightened. General Thaddeus Ross. He funded my biotech research, pushed for human trials before we were ready. When the accident happened, when I became this... He saw a weapon instead of a disaster. I've been running ever since. Ross wants to replicate the process, create super soldiers. He doesn't understand that the Hulk isn't controllable. He's rage incarnate. And yet you controlled the transformation on P3X421. TLC observed. You returned to human form through will alone. I'm learning, Banner said quietly. Meditation. Breathing techniques. Staying calm. But it's not reliable. Any stress, any threat, any anger, he comes out. And when he does, people get hurt. I've destroyed buildings, military equipment. I've never killed anyone, but that's luck more than control. Daniel leaned forward, his expression sympathetic. Bruce, you went through an experimental portal to escape. That's desperation. What did you think would happen? Honestly? I thought I'd die. The energy readings were unstable, the portal was collapsing. But dying seemed better than becoming Ross's weapon. Banner met Hammond's eyes. Then I materialized on that planet. The gate travel, it did something to me. The Hulk emerged during transit, I think. The molecular deconstruction triggered a transformation, but when I rematerialized, something was different. Weaker, maybe? Like the process strained him temporarily. Carter's eyes widened. Gate travel affects gamma-radiated cells differently. The matter stream would interact with the radiation at quantum levels. If the Hulk is gamma-based biology, the Stargate's dematerialization sequence could temporarily disrupt the transformation efficiency. Which means what, exactly? Jack asked. It means the Hulk might be operating at reduced capacity, Carter explained. Temporarily. Until Dr. Banner's physiology adapts to this universe's physics. So he gets stronger the longer he's here, Jack summarized. Great. Love that. I don't want to be a weapon, Banner said, voice carrying desperate sincerity. I want to help. Your technology, this program, you're defending Earth against threats I can barely comprehend. I'm a scientist. Let me contribute. Let me work with Major Carter on your reactors, your research. I can be useful beyond just smashing things. Hammond considered this. Dr. Fraser, medical assessment? Physically sound, aside from the radiation saturation. Fraser replied. Psychologically, he's under enormous stress but shows no signs of psychosis or deception. His vital signs support his claims about controlling transformations through emotional regulation. Hammond made his decision. Dr. Banner, I'm granting you provisional clearance to work with Major Carter on the Quad reactor analysis. You'll remain under constant supervision. You'll wear a monitoring device that tracks your heart rate and gamma emissions. Any sign of transformation, and you'll be sedated immediately. Are these terms acceptable? Relief flooded Banner's face. Yes, sir. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, Hammond said. The NID won't stop pursuing you. And if the Hulk emerges in this facility, Doctor, we'll have no choice but to treat him as a hostile threat. Control is your responsibility. I understand, Banner whispered. As SG-1 escorted Banner toward Carter's lab, Jack fell into step beside the scientist. For what it's worth, Jack said quietly, I get it. Being something you can't control. Having people fear what you might become. We've all got demons here, document. Some of ours just happened to come through giant alien rings. Banner offered a weak smile. Does it get easier? I'll let you know when it does. In her lab, Carter began explaining Naquadah reactor principles while Banner listened with the intense focus of someone grateful for purpose beyond destruction. Neither noticed the security camera feeding directly to an NID data center, where analysts began compiling everything about the gamma-powered scientists who'd fallen through Earth's most classified program. And across the galaxy, on a Hatak orbiting a dying world, the Goa'uld Nirrti reviewed spy network reports about unusual energy signatures detected near the Tauri Gate network. Her eyes glowed with Goa'uld possession as she smiled. A creature of pure gamma radiation. A human who transformed into something beyond Jaffa, beyond normal Hoktor potential. Perfect for her experiments. 3 days into Bruce Banner's provisional assignment, Jack O'Neill found the scientist in Lab 3C at 0300 hours, running calculations that covered 2 whiteboards while Carter watched with the kind of fascination usually reserved for ancient repositories. Dr. Banner just solved the energy distribution problem we've had with the Mark IV reactor, Carter said, her voice carrying barely contained excitement. The solution's elegant. Brilliant, actually. He proposed using layered Naquadah matrices that mirror gamma decay patterns. Banner looked exhausted but engaged, the kind of tired that came from purpose instead of fear. The monitoring bracelet on his wrist showed steady vitals, no gamma spikes. For 72 hours he'd been the model colleague, insightful, collaborative, careful. Which naturally meant everything was about to go sideways. The call came at 0600. General Hammond's voice carried the clipped tension that meant bad news incoming. Colonel O'Neill, report to Interrogation Room 2 immediately. We have visitors. Jack found Colonel Mayborn waiting with 2 men in dark suits who radiated the special brand of governmental menace reserved for people who believed laws were suggestions. Hammond stood behind them, jaw tight with barely suppressed anger. Colonel O'Neill, one suit said, not offering a hand. Agent Stoltz, NID Special Projects Division. We're here to transfer custody of Dr. Bruce Banner pursuant to National Security Directive 77 Alpha. Never heard of it. Jack lied. Above your clearance, Stoltz replied smoothly. Dr. Banner represents unique strategic assets. The NID has prepared a secure facility for his evaluation and potential integration into weapons development programs. Weapons development, Jack repeated. You mean you want to poke the angry green giant until he smashes things on command? That about cover it? Stoltz's expression never changed. Dr. Banner's capabilities require proper assessment by qualified personnel. Stargate Command's mission parameters don't include managing gamma-powered assets. General? Jack looked at Hammond. Hammond's face was stone. The directive is legitimate, Colonel. The Joint Chiefs signed off this morning. My hands are tied. Which was politician speak for. I hate this, but I can't stop it. Banner appeared in the doorway, escorted by 2 SFs. He'd been working in Carter's lab when security collected him. His eyes found Jack's face, then the NID agents, and his expression went carefully blank, the look of a man who'd learned to hide fear because showing it meant transformation. Dr. Banner, Stoltz said, you're being transferred to a facility better equipped to handle your unique situation. Please cooperate and this will proceed smoothly. And if I don't cooperate? Banner asked quietly. Then we sedate you and transport you unconscious. Stoltz replied without inflection. Your choice. Jack saw it happen, Banner's hands trembling slightly, his breathing accelerating, the monitoring bracelet starting to beep as his heart rate climbed. The scientist closed his eyes, forcing breath control, trying desperately to apply the meditation techniques that kept the monster caged. Bruce, Jack said carefully. Stay calm. We'll figure this out. You don't understand, Banner whispered. These people, they're exactly like Ross. They see the Hulk as a weapon. They'll push, they'll prod, they'll try to trigger transformations to study him. And he'll come out. He always comes out when people try to control him. Which is why proper containment protocols are essential, Stoltz said. We have facilities designed for exactly this scenario. Your facilities won't hold him, Banner said, voice strained with the effort of staying human. Nothing holds him when he's angry enough. Stoltz nodded to his partner, who produced a syringe filled with amber liquid. The sedative will make this easier, Doctor. Don't. Banner backed up, heart rate monitor screaming now. Don't come near me. I'm warning you. If you push this, if you try to force me, he'll. The partner moved fast, grabbing Banner's arm. The needle descended. Banner's eyes flashed green. Everybody down! Jack shouted, recognizing the transformation's beginning. That moment when human biology gave way to something else entirely. The change ripped through Banner faster than on P3X421, his body expanding with violent speed. Clothes tore. Skin shifted from brown to emerald. Muscles erupted across his frame like geological formations. The sedative syringe shattered against skin that had become tougher than Kevlar. The Hulk stood in Interrogation Room 2, 8 feet of rage compressed into a space designed for humans. He looked at Agent Stoltz. Looked at the partner who'd tried to drug him. And roared. The sound shattered the observation window. Stoltz and his partner scrambled backward, reaching for weapons that would be completely useless. Hammond slammed the emergency containment button, but the electromagnetic fields designed for Goa'uld flickered uselessly against gamma-powered biology. Hulk smash puny men! The voice was deeper than Banner's, primal, each word forced through a throat not designed for human speech. The Hulk grabbed the interrogation table, solid steel bolted to the floor, and ripped it free with the casual ease of someone pulling weeds. He hurled it at the NID agents, who dove aside as 200 pounds of metal embedded itself in the concrete wall. Security teams, fall back! Hammond ordered through the facility-wide intercom. Evacuate sub-level 19! This is not a drill! Jack had his sidearm out, knowing it was pointless but training overriding common sense. Big guy! It's me! Jack! We're friends, remember? We're not trying to hurt you. The Hulk's eyes found Jack, still burning with rage but showing the faintest flicker of recognition. You, not puny man who hurts Banner. You, friend? Yeah, friend, Jack confirmed, keeping his voice steady despite his heart trying to jackhammer through his chest. These NID jerks attacked Banner. But we're on your side. Hammond's on your side. Carter's on your side. We don't want to cage you. Lies! Hulk smashed a fist into the wall, punching through reinforced concrete like cardboard. All puny humans want to cage Hulk. Make Banner a weapon. Hulk tired of running. I know, buddy, Jack said. But smashing Stargate Command isn't going to help. You destroy this place, more military comes. Bigger guns. You want Banner safe? You want people to stop hunting you? Then prove you're not just rage. Prove you can control it. The Hulk hesitated, fists clenched, chest heaving. Jack could see the internal war playing across those green features. Rage versus reason, instinct versus Banner's influence. Hulk, not want to hurt friends, he said slowly. But puny suit men tried to take Banner. Make him weapon. Hulk, protect Banner. Always protect Banner. Then let me protect him too, Jack offered. Stand down. Change back. We'll deal with the NID. I promise you, they're not taking Banner anywhere. O'Neill speaks truth. TLC's voice came from the doorway, staff weapon lowered but ready. We have witnessed injustice against DR. Banner. We will not permit his capture by those who would abuse his abilities. Carter appeared beside TLC, unarmed, showing trust. Bruce, I know you're in there. You told me the Hulk protects you. But right now, the best protection is proving you can control this. Show them transformation doesn't mean losing yourself completely. The Hulk's breathing slowed fractionally. His fists unclenched. The rage in his eyes dimmed from inferno to bonfire. Banner wants control, Hulk said. Banner always wants control, Maybe. Hulk, try. That's it, Jack encouraged. Deep breaths. Think calm thoughts. Imagine. I don't know, whatever makes Banner happy. Science stuff. Equations. The Hulk's massive frame shuddered. Green skin began fading to normal tones. Muscles compressed, height decreased, mass redistributed according to physics that made Carter's brain itch. 2 minutes later, Bruce Banner knelt naked on the interrogation room floor, surrounded by destruction, trembling with exhaustion. I'm sorry, he whispered. I tried to warn them. Hammond appeared with a blanket, draping it over Banner's shoulders. His expression was granite. Agent Stoltz, your authorization is revoked. Dr. Banner remains in SGC custody. If the NID has objections, they can take it up with the President. Now get off my base before I have you arrested for reckless endangerment of classified personnel. Stoltz's face was pale but defiant. This isn't over, General. Yes, Hammond said coldly. It is. Bruce Banner sat in General Hammond's office wearing borrowed BDUs 3 sizes too large, nursing coffee that tasted like it had been brewed during the Cold War. His hands still shook from the transformation, and the monitoring bracelet on his wrist displayed vitals that would make any cardiologist reach for defibrillator paddles. I destroyed an interrogation room, Banner said quietly. Threatened federal agents. Proved exactly what everyone fears about me. You proved the NID are idiots who ignore clear warnings, Jack corrected from his position leaning against Hammond's desk. Which we already knew, so really, no new information. Hammond set down a folder marked with enough classification stamps to wallpaper a small room. Dr. Banner, what happened today was a failure of protocol, mine, specifically. I should have anticipated NID overreach. I should have established better containment procedures before allowing outside agencies access to you. Sir, with respect, no containment would have held the Hulk once those agents grabbed me, Banner replied. The transformation was triggered by threat response. Fight or flight instinct amplified by gamma radiation. When someone tries to force control, the Hulk interprets it as attack. And when he's attacked, Banner gestured at the damage report on Hammond's desk. Carter entered, carrying a tablet displaying analysis data. General, I've reviewed the security footage and Banner's biometric data. The transformation took 4.2 seconds from initial contact to full manifestation. 30% faster than the P3X421 incident. His physiology is adapting to this universe faster than we projected. Meaning the Hulk gets stronger, Jack summarized. Fantastic. But also suggesting Banner's control improves proportionally. Carter continued. He reverted to human form through conscious effort. That's significant. Most gamma exposure cases result in death or permanent mutation. Banner maintains dual-state biology with increasing voluntary regulation. I talked him down, Banner said, while transformed. I could hear Jack, hear you, General Hammond. The Hulk's not mindless, he's just primal. Like a child with infinite strength and abandonment issues. TLC raised an eyebrow. You speak of this Hulk as separate entity. Because he is, sort of. He's me, but he's also not me. My rage-given form. My survival instinct weaponized. He protects me from threats I can't face as Banner. Bruce met TLC's gaze. You were first primed to Apophis. You carried a symbiote, felt its thoughts. Did the Goa'uld feel completely separate from you, or were you merged? The Goa'uld was parasite. TLC replied. Distinct consciousness controlling host's body. Yet I was aware, imprisoned within my own flesh. Your situation appears inverse. You control the body, yet the Hulk consciousness emerges when needed. Exactly. He's not possessing me. He's the part of me that refuses to die. Banner's expression turned haunted. And the part that terrifies me most is that sometimes, when I'm angry as Banner, I want to be him. I want the power. The freedom from fear. That's the real danger. Not that I can't control transformations, but that someday I might not want to. Daniel had been quiet, processing. Now he spoke. Bruce, you mentioned 7 PhDs. That's extraordinary dedication to knowledge, to understanding. But all that education couldn't prevent the accident. Couldn't give you control over the Hulk. Are you afraid that intellect isn't enough? The question landed like a staff weapon blast. Banner's hands tightened on his coffee mug. Every day, he admitted, I've spent my life believing problems can be solved through rational thought. Through science. Then gamma radiation rewrote my biology and created something that operates on pure emotion. The Hulk is everything I'm not. Unreasonable, instinctive, powerful. He's proof that intelligence has limits. Or proof that survival requires both, Hammond countered. Dr. Banner, this program operates on a simple principle. Earth faces threats that require diverse capabilities. Colonel O'Neill provides tactical leadership. Major Carter provides scientific expertise. Dr. Jackson provides cultural insight. TLC provides combat experience and knowledge of our enemies. Each member of SG-1 brings something irreplaceable to the mission. You're offering me a position, Banner said slowly. I'm offering you purpose beyond running, Hammond corrected. The NID wants a weapon. General Ross wanted a soldier. I'm offering you the chance to be a scientist who happens to have unique capabilities for extreme situations. Work with Major Carter on reactor research. Consult on gamma-based alien technologies. And yes, if circumstances require the Hulk's intervention on off-world missions, we'll cross that bridge with proper protocols. Jack pushed off the desk. For the record, I'm not thrilled about bringing the Jolly Green Giant through the Stargate. But I'm also not thrilled about Goa'uld, replicators, or any of the other nightmares we face weekly. We adapt. It's kind of our thing. SG-1 operates as team, TLC added. Not as collection of weapons. If you join us, Dr. Banner, it will be as warrior scientist. The Hulk will be final option, not primary strategy. Banner looked at each of them. This team who defended him against their own government, who talked down a rage monster through trust instead of force. His eyes glistened. I've been running for so long, he whispered. Afraid of what I'd become if I stopped. Afraid I'd hurt someone. Afraid I'd be captured and turned into exactly what Ross wanted. But you're offering something different. You're offering acceptance. We're offering reality, Hammond said firmly. The Hulk is dangerous. Transformations will be monitored. Missions will be carefully selected. You'll work under constant supervision until we establish reliable control protocols. This isn't unconditional trust, Doctor. It's conditional opportunity. Prove you can function within military structure, and you'll have a place here. Fail to maintain control, endanger this facility or personnel, and we'll have no choice but to implement permanent containment measures. Understood, sir. Banner straightened. What's my first assignment? Carter smiled. Actually, we've got something perfect. SG-7 returned from P2X887 yesterday with fragments of what appears to be ancient technology emitting low-level gamma radiation. None of our equipment can analyze it safely. But someone with gamma immunity and advanced physics knowledge could examine it without radiation exposure risk. Banner finished. That's actually fascinating. The ancients rarely worked with gamma-based energy. Most of their technology operates on different spectrum entirely. If they developed gamma applications, it suggests experimental research or adaptation to unusual stellar environments. See, this is why we keep scientists around, Jack said. They get excited about weird glowing rocks instead of running away screaming like sensible people. Colonel O'Neill speaks wisdom, TLC said with perfect deadpan. Sensible people would not repeatedly travel through the Stargate to worlds containing hostile alien parasites, energy beings, and technology designed to destroy minds. Hey, we're employed professionals with benefits and everything, Jack protested. Totally different from suicidal. Banner laughed. Actual genuine laughter, for the first time since arriving through the gate. The sound transformed his face, replacing haunted exhaustion with something approaching hope. "All right," he said. "Let's look at mysterious ancient artifacts that probably shouldn't exist. What's the worst that could happen?" Everyone stared at him. "Right," Banner amended. "Never ask that question. New rule learned." Hammond stood, extending his hand. Banner shook it, feeling the firm grip of Command offering partnership. "Welcome to Stargate Command, Dr. Banner. Try not to smash anything we can't replace." "I'll do my best, sir." As SG-1 escorted Banner toward the artifact storage lab, Carter fell into step beside him, already discussing gamma wavelength analysis techniques. Daniel asked about meditation methods for emotional regulation. TLC walked silent guard, staff weapon ready but lowered, protection, not threat. Jack hung back, watching the scientists integrate into their strange military family. "Sir?" Major Davis approached Hammond in the corridor. "The NID has filed formal complaints. They're demanding Banner's transfer." "Let them demand," Hammond replied. "Dr. Banner stays here. Period." Far above Cheyenne Mountain, in orbit aboard a cloaked Teltac, Nirrti's Jaffa watched surveillance feeds from their spy network. The Goa'uld's eyes glowed as she studied footage of the Hulk's transformation. "Prepare a strike team," she commanded. "I want that creature alive." The ancient artifact sat in a containment field, humming with gamma radiation that made Carter's detectors paint Lab 7 in angry reds. It looked like a crystalline sphere roughly the size of a basketball, inner structures pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that suggested either advanced circuitry or something organic. Or both. With ancient technology, the line blurred considerably. Bruce Banner circled it slowly, wearing nothing but the borrowed BDUs and a monitoring bracelet that had become as familiar as his own heartbeat. The radiation washing over him felt almost comfortable, like standing in warm sunlight after years of darkness. "Readings are consistent with gamma decay patterns, but the half-life is impossible," Carter said, reviewing her instruments. "This thing should have exhausted its radiation signature millions of years ago based on ancient timeline estimates. Instead, it's maintaining steady output as if being actively powered." "Because it probably is," Banner replied, leaning closer without the fear normal humans would feel around lethal radiation. "Look at the crystalline matrix structure. It's not storing gamma energy, it's generating it through quantum vacuum fluctuation. The ancients created a perpetual gamma reactor on miniature scale. Absolutely brilliant. Also absolutely dangerous," Jack noted from behind the lead shielding. "Which is why you're the only one who can touch it without glowing in the dark." Banner smiled slightly. "Advantages of having your DNA rewritten by gamma radiation. Major Carter, if I'm right about the generation mechanism, this device could revolutionize our reactor designs. Sustainable, compact, powerful. The ancients might have abandoned the technology because gamma radiation is dangerous to most biological life, but for Earth's purposes, we could power the entire SGC off something the size of a soccer ball," Carter finished, excitement bleeding through scientific professionalism. "Dr. Banner, can you interface with it? Ancient technology typically requires the ATA gene, but this predates that design philosophy based on crystalline structure analysis." Banner reached through the containment field, gamma radiation intensifying around his hand. The artifact's pulsing accelerated, patterns shifting to match the radiation signature emanating from his cells. His fingers touched the surface. The world inverted. Suddenly Banner stood not in Lab 7 but in a vast chamber of white stone and crystalline towers. Ancient architecture stretched impossibly upward, and before him stood a holographic figure, humanoid, robed, eyes glowing with knowledge that predated human civilization. "Fascinating," the hologram said in perfect English, though Banner suspected the artifact was translating. "A human who carries our experimental energy signature. You should not exist." "I get that a lot," Banner replied, recovering from shock with scientists' adaptability. "You're an ancient? A projection from the artifact?" "I am Archive Keeper Valona, custodian of the Gamma Ascension Project. The hologram gestured, and images appeared, ancients working with gamma reactors, conducting experiments on biological specimens, recording failures. 10 million years ago, we sought to merge biological consciousness with pure gamma energy as alternative ascension pathway. The Ori had proven that worship-based ascension corrupted. We theorized that gamma radiation, the energy of stellar death and rebirth, might offer ascension through scientific means rather than spiritual. You tried to become beings of gamma energy. Banner breathed. Like your regular ascension creates energy beings, but powered by gamma radiation instead of whatever mechanism drives normal ascension. Precisely. The experiment failed catastrophically. Gamma consciousness proved unstable. Powerful but uncontrollable. Subjects transformed into beings of pure rage, unable to maintain individual identity. We lost 17 research teams before abandoning the project. The artifacts were sealed, scattered across worlds, warnings encoded against ever attempting this path again. Banner's stomach tightened. I'm a failed ancient experiment. The gamma radiation that created the Hulk. I accidentally recreated your research. You are impossibility. Bellona corrected. Our subjects either died or lost themselves completely to gamma rage. You maintain dual consciousness. You transform yet retain humanity. How? I don't know. Banner admitted. The accident was random. Gamma ray bursts, genetic factors may be pure chance. But I can control it, sometimes. The Hulk isn't mindless. He's different. Angry, yes, but aware. Protective. He's not pure rage. He's survival instinct given form. Bellona's holographic eyes studied Banner with intensity that transcended time. Then you have achieved what we could not. Partial gamma ascension with retained identity. This should be impossible, yet here you stand. The question becomes, what will you do with this power? Protect people, Banner said immediately. The Hulk scares me, but he also saves lives. Stops threats. If this is what I am, if I'm some cosmic accident that succeeded where the ancients failed, then I use it for something good. Not as weapon, but as protector. Noble sentiment. Also naive. Bellona's expression softened. Human Banner, listen carefully. The artifact you touched is not merely recorder of history. It is seed for continued experiment. When gamma-compatible organism interfaces, the device attempts to complete ascension process. Right now, it is integrating with your cellular structure, adjusting your gamma signature toward ancient specifications. Within hours, you will face choice, embrace full gamma transformation and risk losing yourself to rage permanently, or reject the ascension and remain as you are. What happens if I accept? Banner asked, though he already suspected the answer. You become being of infinite power and zero control. Eternal Hulk, untempered by Banner's consciousness. You will destroy everything you love before someone finally stops you. The ancients learned this lesson through tragedy. I show you their mistakes so you need not repeat them. Images flooded Banner's mind, ancient gamma subjects transformed into towering monsters, ravaging cities, mindless destruction until energy depletion caused molecular collapse. Every test subject. Every failure. Every warning. And if I reject it? Banner whispered. The artifact ceases integration. You remain as you are, flawed, unstable, but human. Your gamma transformation stays limited, controllable. You will not achieve ascension, but neither will you lose yourself completely. The choice must be yours, made with full understanding of consequences. The vision began fading, Lab 7 bleeding back into focus through holographic walls. Banner felt the artifact's energy withdrawing from his cells, waiting. Choose wisely, human Banner. The ancients failed because they sought power over control. You have opportunity to choose differently. But choose you must. The integration process cannot remain suspended indefinitely. Reality snapped back. Banner gasped, stumbling backward from the artifact. His hand burned with gamma energy, skin glowing faintly green. Carter caught him, steadying, while Jack moved forward with concern overriding caution. "Bruce! What happened? You've been standing there for 3 minutes completely unresponsive." 3 minutes? It had felt like hours. Banner looked at the artifact, now pulsing with urgent rhythm that made his modified cells sing with resonance. It's ancient technology. Experimental. They tried to create gamma-based ascension and failed. The artifact is trying to complete their research using me as test subject. Ascension? Daniel's eyes widened. Bruce, ancient ascension transforms beings into pure energy. If you're integrating gamma radiation into that process, I become the Hulk permanently. Banner finished. No Banner consciousness. Just rage. Forever. The monitoring bracelet screamed as his heart rate spiked. Green tinges crawled up his arms. Carter backed away instinctively. "Bruce, stay calm," she urged. "We can contain the artifact, shut down the integration." "No," Banner interrupted, forcing breath control. "The process can't be stopped externally. Only I can reject it. But I need time to think. Time to—" The alarms blared. Hammond's voice cut through facility-wide intercoms. "Security alert. Unauthorized gate activation. We have incoming." Through Lab 7's windows, they saw the gate room, chevrons locking rapidly, the event horizon establishing with violent whoosh. Through the shimmering wormhole came Jaffa warriors in ornate armor, staff weapons blazing. And behind them, a woman whose eyes glowed with Goa'uld possession. Nirrti had come for her prize. The iris should have stopped them. Should have atomized anything attempting to rematerialize 3 micrometers from its titanium surface. Instead, Nirrti's Jaffa came through carrying ancient design matter displacement shields, stolen technology that created microsecond pockets allowing safe materialization past the barrier. 20 Jaffa flooded the gate room in 12 seconds. SFs opened fire, P-90 rounds sparking off Jaffa armor, while staff weapon blasts carved molten furrows through concrete and equipment. The control room windows shattered under concentrated fire. "All SG teams, defensive positions." Hammond's voice carried command authority even through chaos. "Seal sublevel 16 through 22. This is not a drill." In Lab 7, Banner's skin continued its alarming shift toward green. The ancient artifact pulsed urgently, demanding answer to its ascension offer while actual combat raged 3 levels below. Carter grabbed her sidearm, TLC hefted his staff weapon, and Jack moved to defensive position near the door. "Daniel, get Banner to secure containment," Jack ordered. "Carter, TLC, we're heading to the gate room. This is coordinated assault. Someone knew our iris codes. Or someone doesn't care about codes," Carter countered, checking her weapon. "Sir, those shields the Jaffa used? That's technology we've only seen references to in ancient databases. Whoever's commanding this attack has serious resources." Through Lab 7's reinforced windows, they watched Nirrti stride through the wormhole with the confidence of someone who owned reality. Her host body wore elaborate Goa'uld armor, eyes blazing with symbiote power. She surveyed the gate room carnage with satisfaction. "Tauri defenders!" Her voice carried supernatural resonance. "I am Nirrti, genetic architect of the System Lords. I seek only the gamma creature detected by my spy network. Surrender him, and your facility survives. Resist, and I demonstrate why System Lords earn their divinity." "That's a Goa'uld," Banner said, watching with horrified fascination. "A parasitic alien claiming to be a god? Welcome to Tuesdays," Jack replied grimly. "Also, she's specifically here for you, which is just fantastic. Daniel, move Banner now!" But Banner's attention fixed on the artifact, its pulsing synchronized with his accelerating heartbeat. The integration process wasn't pausing for alien invasion, it was accelerating, fed by stress and adrenaline. Green spread further across his skin. "Jack, I can't control this much longer," Banner warned. "The artifact's pushing transformation. If Nirrti wants the Hulk, she's about to get him. But the ancient system is trying to make it permanent. I have maybe minutes before I have to choose, reject ascension and stay half-controllable, or accept and become eternal rage. Then reject it, Daniel urged. Bruce, you said yourself, full transformation means losing your humanity. But partial transformation means Nirrti captures me, Banner countered, logic warring with instinct. If she takes me, experiments on me like she did those other humans we found records of, she learns to replicate gamma transformation. Imagine an army of system lords with Hulk-level power. The galaxy wouldn't survive. Teal'c's eyes narrowed. Nirrti has experimented on thousands seeking to create Hoktor, advanced humans with supernatural abilities. You represent her ultimate success. A human who transcends normal limitations. She will not cease pursuit until destroyed or successful. Below, Nirrti gestured languidly. Her Jaffa began systematic advance through SGC corridors, staff weapons clearing rooms with brutal efficiency. SFs fought courageously, but human weapons barely scratched Jaffa armor. Hammond ordered strategic retreat to defensible positions while buying time for lockdown protocols. We can't let her take Banner, Carter said firmly. Sir, recommend we evacuate Banner through secondary gate at Area 51. No time, Jack interrupted. She's between us and any exit. Daniel, you're babysitting our gamma-powered scientist. Carter, Teal'c, we're running interference. Try not to die. They moved with practiced efficiency. Warriors who'd faced impossible odds enough times that suicidal plans felt like standard operating procedure. Banner watched them go, feeling useless despite carrying power that could level cities. Bruce, Daniel said quietly, hand on Banner's shoulder. You're afraid of becoming the Hulk. I understand that. But right now, the Hulk might be exactly what we need. Not eternal rage, just enough rage to stop a genocidal alien from kidnapping you. You're asking me to transform, Banner said. To release him deliberately instead of fighting it. I'm asking you to trust yourself, Daniel corrected. You talked the Hulk down in the interrogation room. You reverted through willpower. That's control most people can't imagine. The ancient artifact wants you to choose permanent transformation. So choose temporary transformation. Choose Banner staying Banner while Hulk handles the immediate threat. The logic was insane. Also compelling. Banner looked at the artifact, feeling its energy singing through his cells, offering power beyond imagination at cost of everything he was. All right, he decided. I reject the ascension. I choose to stay flawed, unstable, and human. He placed both hands on the artifact. I am Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Not one or the other. Both. Forever. The artifact pulsed once, brilliantly, then went dark. The integration ceased. The gamma energy stopped trying to consume his consciousness and instead settled back into its familiar dual-state configuration. Banner smiled. Then deliberately, carefully, he let his heart rate climb. He thought about Nirrti kidnapping him. Experimenting on him. Creating armies of raged monsters. Hurting the people at SGC who'd shown him kindness. Treating the Hulk as weapon instead of person. He thought about Ross. About the NID. About everyone who'd ever seen him as thing instead of human. He got angry. The transformation ripped through him faster than ever before. Ancient energy had accelerated his adaptation even while he rejected ascension. Bruce Banner disappeared into Emerald Rage, and the Hulk stood in Lab 7 wearing shredded BDUs and carrying fury that could crack planets. Hulk smashed Snake Lady, he announced, voice shaking the walls. Daniel wisely stepped aside. The Hulk punched through Lab 7's reinforced door like tissue paper and bounded toward the gate room with footfalls that registered on seismic monitors 3 levels down. Jaffa turned at the approaching thunder, staff weapons tracking. Nirrti's eyes widened fractionally. The only warning before 8 feet of gamma-powered rage crashed into her forces like a green meteor. The first Jaffa went flying through the gate room wall. The second got thrown into the ceiling hard enough to embed him in concrete. The third tried shooting, staff weapon blast hit Hulk square in chest and accomplished exactly nothing except making him angrier. "Hulk not like space zombies!" he roared, grabbing a Jaffa by the leg and using him as impromptu weapon against his fellows. "Hulk not like glowy-eyed snake lady!" Nirrti's host face showed genuine surprise. She'd seen advanced humans, genetic experiments, even ancient technology. She'd never seen something like Hulk, biological impossibility that operated on pure rage and escalating power. "Magnificent," she breathed. "Even better than my spy reports suggested. Jaffa, use shock grenades. Subdue, don't kill." 3 Jaffa lobbed grenades designed to drop Jaffa warriors instantly. The electrical discharge hit Hulk with enough voltage to power a city block. He shook it off and smiled. "Puny lightning tickles," Hulk observed. Then grabbed a massive equipment rack and hurled it at Nirrti. The Goa'uld raised her ribbon device, Kara Kesh, channeling Naquata-powered energy into telekinetic barrier. The equipment rack stopped mid-flight, held by impossible force. For 3 seconds they stood locked, Goa'uld technology against Gamma biology. Then Hulk jumped 20 feet straight up, over the telekinetic barrier, coming down on Nirrti like angry green judgment. She dove aside with enhanced Goa'uld reflexes, host's body moving faster than human baseline. "Retreat!" she commanded. "Fall back through the gate. We require a different approach." Her Jaffa obeyed with disciplined speed, laying covering fire while withdrawing toward the active wormhole. Hulk barreled after them, but SG teams had established crossfire positions that forced even him to slow. Nirrti backed toward the event horizon, eyes locked on Hulk with hunger that transcended possession. "I will return for you, Gamma creature," she promised. "You will become my greatest creation. Or my most glorious dissection. Hulk suggests you not come back." Hulk replied, articulate enough to surprise even Jack. Hulk getting stronger. Next time, Hulk crushed Snake Lady like bug. Nirrti smiled coldly. "We shall see." She stepped through the gate. Her remaining Jaffa followed. The wormhole disengaged, leaving destruction and shocked silence. Hulk stood in the ruined gate room, breathing heavily, still massive but rage beginning to ebb. He looked at the SGC personnel. Soldiers and scientists who just witnessed him defend their facility. "Banner's friends safe now?" he asked. "Yeah, big guy," Jack confirmed carefully. "You did good. Saved a lot of lives." "Hulk do good?" The concept seemed foreign. "Wonderful. Banner always says Hulk only breaks things. But Hulk protect. Hulk help." "You helped a lot," Hammond said, emerging from the control room. "Thank you." The Hulk's features softened, still massive and green, but showing something beyond rage. Pride, maybe? Or hope. Hulk let Banner come back now, he decided. But Hulk be ready. Snake Lady comes back, Hulk smash harder. The transformation reversed gradually, Hulk shrinking back into Bruce Banner's exhausted, naked form. Medical teams rushed forward with blankets and monitoring equipment. Banner looked at the destruction, walls cratered, equipment destroyed, but personnel alive, and managed a weak smile. "Did we win?" "This round," Jack confirmed. "But Nirrti doesn't give up easy. She'll be back with bigger plans and nastier tricks. Then we'll be ready," Banner said. Together. In orbit aboard her cloaked Hatak, Nirrti reviewed combat footage with clinical fascination. The Gamma creature was perfect. And she would have him. The briefing room felt smaller with the weight of galactic consequences pressing down. Bruce Banner sat at the conference table wearing fresh BDUs, a week's worth of beard, and the haunted expression of someone who'd become a System Lord's obsession. Around him, SG-1, General Hammond, and Major Davis reviewed tactical displays showing Nirrti's known territories, her experimental facilities, and the disturbing pattern of her movements since the SGC attack. "She's been quiet for 6 days," Carter reported, manipulating holographic star charts. "No gate activity from her controlled worlds. No spy network chatter. Complete radio silence. Which means she's planning something worse, Jack concluded. Goa'uld don't do subtle unless they're setting up something really nasty. Indeed, TLC agreed. Nirrti is most patient of System Lords when pursuing genetic experiments. She will study footage of Hulk's capabilities, analyze weaknesses, develop containment strategies. When she returns, she will be prepared. Banner's hands clenched on the table. She wants to replicate the Gamma transformation. Create her own Hulks under Goa'uld control. I've been working with Major Carter on the physics. It shouldn't be possible. The accident that created me involved too many random variables. Specific gamma frequency, unique genetic factors, quantum probability so unlikely it borders on impossible. Yet you exist, Daniel pointed out gently. Which means Nirrti believes she can recreate the conditions. She's experimented on thousands, Bruce. She's patient, methodical, and completely without ethics. If there's even a 1% chance she succeeds, then the galaxy faces armies of gamma-powered Jaffa. Hammond finished grimly. Gentlemen, Dr. Banner, we need to shift from defensive to proactive strategy. Recommendations? Major Davis cleared his throat. Sir, the NID has proposed placing Dr. Banner in secure off-world facility. Constantly relocating him through the gate network to prevent Nirrti from establishing pattern-based tracking. Running forever, Banner said quietly. That's what I did before. It doesn't work. Eventually you get tired, make mistakes. And Nirrti has resources I can't imagine. She'll find me. Alternative proposal. Carter offered. We let her find you. Controlled environment, trap scenario, eliminate Nirrti permanently. Using Banner as bait. Jack said flatly. I'm not loving it. I am, Banner countered, surprising everyone. General Hammond, I've spent the last week analyzing what the Hulk can do in this universe. The gate travel initially weakened transformations, but my physiology has adapted. The Hulk is now operating at full capacity, maybe beyond. Strength increases with anger, no apparent upper limit. Regeneration heals damage almost instantly. I'm functionally immune to energy weapons based on what Nirrti's forces threw at me. You're suggesting we use you as tactical asset, Hammond observed. Transform deliberately, engage Nirrti's forces with SG team support. More than that, sir. I'm suggesting we go after her. Not wait for another attack, but take the fight to Nirrti's stronghold. Destroy her research, eliminate her as threat, send message to other System Lords that experimenting on humans has consequences. TLC's eyebrow rose with what might have been approval. Bold strategy. Also suicidal. Nirrti's primary research facility orbits P3R233, defended by 2 Hatak motherships and substantial Jaffa garrison. Direct assault would require forces we do not possess. Unless we have something they can't stop. Banner argued. The Hulk destroyed an interrogation room designed to hold Goa'uld. He threw Jaffa through walls. Nirrti's technology couldn't contain him. What if we sent him directly to her facility? Create chaos, destroy her research while SG teams extract any prisoners and plant explosives? You're talking about solo infiltration into fortified Goa'uld position, Jack said. Banner, you're a scientist, not a soldier. Even as Hulk, you don't have tactical training for that kind of operation. Then teach me, Banner replied simply. I've got time. And the Hulk learns, he's not mindless. Last week proved that. He protected the facility, distinguished between enemies and allies, even took orders. Work with me. Train me. Show me how to direct rage tactically instead of just smashing randomly. Daniel leaned forward. Bruce, are you sure about this? You've spent months trying to suppress the Hulk. Now you're volunteering to weaponize him? I'm volunteering to use the power I have for something that matters. Banner corrected. The Hulk exists whether I like it or not. Running from that fact doesn't change it. But channeling it? Directing it toward actual threats instead of just lashing out when cornered? That's control. That's choosing who I am instead of letting fear decide. Hammond studied Banner with the assessing gaze of a commander evaluating assets. Dr. Banner, if we proceed with this operation, understand that it represents significant risk. Not just to you, but to any team members involved. The Hulk may be powerful, but Goa'uld are cunning. Nirrti especially. She'll anticipate aggression and prepare countermeasures. Which is why we need intelligence first. Carter interjected. Sir, the Takare have operatives near Nirrti's territory. If we coordinate with them, get detailed facility layouts, guard rotations, research data, we could plan precision strike instead of blind assault. The Takare will want something in return, Jack noted. They always do. They want Nirrti eliminated as much as we do, TLC countered. Her genetic experiments threaten Goa'uld human balance that Takare depend upon. They will cooperate if approached correctly. Hammond made his decision. Major Carter, contact the Takare. Request intelligence sharing on Nirrti's operations. Colonel O'Neill, work with Dr. Banner on tactical training. I want him understanding military protocols, team coordination, basic combat strategy. If we're sending the Hulk into enemy territory, he needs to function as part of SG-1, not as independent variable. And if the training doesn't work? Davis asked quietly. If Banner loses control during the mission? Banner met his gaze steadily. Then you shoot me with whatever massive sedative Dr. Fraser has been developing. Gate me to an uninhabited planet. Do what's necessary. But I don't think that'll happen. The Hulk and I are learning to cooperate. He protects what Banner cares about. And right now, Banner cares about stopping Nirrti before she creates horrors that make me look friendly. Indeed, TLC said with definitive approval. The next 72 hours blurred into intense preparation. Jack ran Banner through basic tactical scenarios, how to breach fortified positions, identify priority targets, coordinate with fire teams. The scientist absorbed lessons with surprising aptitude, his analytical mind adapting military strategy like particularly violent physics equations. Carter worked with Takare operative Anise, securing detailed intelligence on Nirrti's orbital facility. The data was disturbing. Genetic experimentation chambers, thousands of human subjects in various stages of horrific transformation, research notes suggesting Nirrti was close to isolating the genetic factors that enabled superhuman abilities. She's already started replicating your accident, Anise reported grimly. Using captured humans as test subjects, bombarding them with gamma radiation in controlled bursts. So far, all subjects have died or been driven permanently insane. But each failure brings her closer to success. Then we're out of time, Banner said. How soon can we move? SG-1 gates to P3 are 2:33 in 18 hours, Hammond announced. Dr. Banner, you'll accompany them. Mission parameters: infiltrate Nirrti's facility, destroy her research, extract any salvageable prisoners, eliminate Nirrti if opportunity presents. You are authorized to transform as tactical situation requires. Questions? Just one, sir, Banner replied. When I transform this time, I'm doing it on purpose. I'm choosing the Hulk. Does that make me soldier instead of scientist? Hammond's expression softened slightly. Dr. Banner, it makes you someone willing to use his abilities for something greater than himself. In my book, that makes you exactly the kind of person this program needs. Banner nodded, accepting the weight of that trust. In her orbital laboratory, Nirrti watched the latest test subject convulse and die under gamma bombardment. Failure number 47. She remained undeterred. The perfect specimen would come to her. She'd made certain of it. The DHD on P3R233 sat in a forest clearing 2 kilometers from Nirrti's orbital facility's ring platform, the planet-based transportation system Goa'uld used for moving between surface and motherships. SG-1 materialized through the Stargate wearing tactical gear and grim expressions. Bruce Banner emerged last, dressed in modified BDUs with reinforced seams that would tear away cleanly during transformation instead of restricting movement. Radio check, Jack whispered, activating his comm. Carter, Daniel, TLC, Banner, confirm. 4 acknowledgements came through. They moved into defensive positions while Carter scanned for patrols. The forest was eerily quiet. Local wildlife had learned that Nirrti's presence meant death. Talk RA intelligence says guard rotation changes in 12 minutes. Carter reported. Ring platform will be minimally defended. That's our window. And up there? Banner asked, pointing at the Hatak visible in orbit. A massive golden pyramid that housed horrors beyond imagination. 2 motherships, TLC confirmed. One is Nirrti's primary research vessel. Second provides military support. Jaffa garrison of approximately 300. Death gliders on standby. Once we ring aboard, we will have perhaps 15 minutes before overwhelming force responds. 15 minutes to find the research labs, plant C4, extract prisoners, and get out. Jack summarized. Piece of cake. Banner, you remember the plan? Transform immediately upon arrival. Create maximum chaos in the hangar bay while you 3 reach the research level. When you signal, I meet you at the lab, we grab whoever we can, blow the charges, and ring back down before the mothership responds. Banner's voice was steady despite the insanity of what they were about to attempt. And if something goes wrong, we adapt, Jack interrupted. That's the job. Ready? Banner closed his eyes, beginning the controlled breathing that would let him trigger transformation without losing focus. Jack, if I don't come back from this, you're coming back, Jack said firmly. All of us are. That's non-negotiable. They moved toward the ring platform. 2 Jaffa guards stood watch, staff weapons ready but attention focused outward rather than expecting assault from the forest. TLC and Jack dropped them with silenced P90 bursts before either could raise alarm. Rings activating, Carter warned as she manipulated the control device. 30 seconds until transport. Banner felt his heart rate climbing, felt the familiar pressure building behind his eyes. The Hulk was ready, eager even. Since the SGC battle, the raged monster had tasted purpose beyond destruction. He wanted to smash Nirrti's forces. Wanted to protect Banner's new team. Bruce, Daniel said quietly. Come back to us, okay? Both of you. Banner smiled. That's the plan. The rings descended, engulfing them in white light. Reality dissolved and reconstructed aboard Nirrti's Hatak, materializing in a hangar bay filled with death gliders, weapons racks, and 40 surprised Jaffa. Banner let go. Transformation ripped through him in 3 seconds flat, clothes shredding, muscles erupting, skin shifting emerald. The Hulk roared his arrival with sound that made the mothership's hull vibrate. Jaffa spun toward the threat, staff weapons tracking. Hulk smashed Snake Lady's toys, he announced, then grabbed the nearest death glider and hurled it into a group of advancing warriors. SG-1 used the chaos perfectly. While Jaffa focused on the 8-foot green monster demolishing their hangar, Jack led his team through side corridors toward the research levels. Behind them, the sounds of combat echoed, staff weapon blasts, the Hulk's roaring, metal tearing like cardboard. He's enjoying himself, Daniel observed, running to keep pace. Let's make sure he has reason to, Jack replied. They reached a junction, consulted Carter's downloaded facility map, and moved deeper into the mothership's twisted architecture. In the hangar, Hulk discovered that death gliders made excellent projectiles but terrible shields against concentrated staff weapon fire. 30+ energy blasts hit him simultaneously, burning flesh and fabric. Pain registered. Anger increased proportionally. Hulk's stronger when angry, he bellowed, demonstrating by ripping a support column from the deck and using it as bat against approaching Jaffa. Warriors went flying, armor denting, bodies breaking. Hulk very angry now. A Jaffa commander activated internal alarms. Klaxons wailed. Reinforcements poured into the hangar from multiple access points, 60 Jaffa, then 80, then more. They tried encirclement tactics, crossfire strategies, even blast grenades. Hulk adapted. Jack's training had taught him target prioritization. Hulk smashed the Jaffa commanders first, disrupting coordination. He destroyed weapon racks, limiting arsenal access. He created bottlenecks by collapsing doorways, forcing enemies into kill zones where his fists had devastating advantage. "Clever green monster," he muttered, then thunderclapped 20 Jaffa off their feet with a double-handed shockwave that shattered eardrums. 3 levels down, SG-1 found the research labs. The horror exceeded their worst projections. Dozens of humans hung in stasis fields, men, women, some barely teenagers, bodies warped by failed experiments. Genetic modifications had created nightmare anatomy, extra limbs, exposed bones reinforced with naquata, skin that glowed with contained radiation. Most were dead. Some wished they were. "Oh God," Daniel whispered, face pale. "She's been doing this for years." "We end it today," Jack said grimly. "Carter, plant charges." "Daniel, check for survivors." "TLC, watch R6. We've got maybe 5 minutes before." Nirrti stepped through the laboratory entrance, flanked by her personal guard, Jaffa wearing experimental armor infused with her genetic enhancements. Her eyes glowed with malevolent satisfaction. "Tauri, you walk into trap with such predictable confidence," she purred. "You believe your gamma creature makes you invincible? I anticipated this assault. Prepared for it. Your monster will not save you here." She activated a device on her wrist. Throughout the laboratory, containment fields dropped. The genetically modified test subjects, the ones still alive, still conscious, lurched toward SG-1 with mindless aggression, driven by Goa'uld conditioning and pain. "They feel only suffering," Nirrti explained. "I offer them release through violence. Kill the intruders, and their torment ends. Refuse, and experiments continue eternally. Simple motivation." "You're insane," Daniel said, raising his weapon but unable to shoot the victims stumbling toward him. "I am God," Nirrti corrected. "And gods reshape creation according to divine vision." Jack activated his radio. "Banner! We need the big guy, research level, now!" 2 decks above, Hulk heard through the earpiece, somehow still functioning despite transformation. He'd cleared the hangar. Unconscious Jaffa littered the deck like broken toys. But getting to SG-1 meant navigating corridors too small for his mass, fighting through reinforcements, finding them in this maze of a ship. He looked at the hangar bay's outer doors. Beyond them, space. Death for normal humans. But Hulk wasn't normal. Hulk take shortcut, he decided, then charged the reinforced doors at full speed. His fist punched through naquata-enhanced metal like tissue paper. Explosive decompression began immediately. Air screaming outward, pressure differential catastrophic. Hulk grabbed the torn edges and ripped, widening the breach, creating hole large enough for his bulk. Then he jumped into vacuum. Space tried to kill him. Radiation, extreme cold, zero pressure, all lethal to human biology. Hulk's gamma-saturated cells adapted in seconds, regeneration compensating for tissue damage faster than physics could destroy him. He'd survived briefly in space before. Now he confirmed it. Hulk could function in vacuum indefinitely. He grabbed the mothership's hull, massive fingers finding purchase in decorative gold plating, and began climbing toward the research level like angry green spider scaling cosmic pyramid. Inside, Nirrti's enhanced subjects closed on SG-1. TLC fired at their legs, trying for incapacitation without lethal force. Carter armed C4 charges with shaking hands. Daniel tried reasoning with the victims, pointless but compassionate. Jack shot Nirrti. 3 P90 rounds hit her center mass. She staggered, host body wounded but Goa'uld symbiote already accelerating healing. Her ribbon device glowed, telekinetic energy forming barrier. "Insufficient," she hissed. "You cannot harm God with primitive." The hull exploded inward. Hulk's fist punched through from outside, followed by his head, then his shoulders. He squeezed through the breach like angry green birth, emerging into the laboratory covered in frost and utterly furious. "Hulk here," he announced. "Snake Lady die now." Nirrti's expression shifted from confidence to something approaching fear. The Hulk's entrance through the mothership's hull accomplished what tactical planning couldn't: complete chaos. Nirrti's enhanced subjects turned toward the new threat, genetic conditioning overriding their attack on SG-1. The Goa'uld herself backed toward a hidden exit, eyes calculating survival odds against something that operated outside her understanding of biology. "Jaffa Kree!" she commanded. Her personal guard surged forward, experimental armor glowing with Naquata enhancements that multiplied strength and speed beyond normal Jaffa capabilities. Hulk met them head-on. The first enhanced Jaffa moved with superhuman velocity, staff weapon striking Hulk's chest with concentrated energy bursts that would have vaporized normal tissue. Hulk grabbed the weapon mid-strike, crushed it like aluminum foil, then used the surprised warrior as projectile against his fellows. "Puny enhanced space zombies still puny," Hulk observed, then demonstrated by catching a second Jaffa's punch, the warrior's genetically modified strength meeting gamma-powered biology, and winning decisively. Bones shattered. The Jaffa screamed. Hulk threw him gently toward SG-1. "That one alive!" he called. "Banner says keep prisoners for Takare." Hulk learning mercy. Jack seized the tactical opening. "Carter, finish planting charges. Daniel, mark survivors for extraction. TLC, help the big guy." TLC moved to Hulk's side, staff weapon blazing. The contrast was almost comical. Disciplined Jaffa warrior firing with precise 3-round bursts, while 8-foot rage monster simply grabbed enemies and removed them from combat through application of superior kinetic force. "Your technique improves, Hulk," TLC noted, dropping 2 guards attempting to flank. "You strike to disable rather than obliterate. This is growth." "Hulk had good teacher," Hulk replied, blocking staff weapon blasts with his forearm and not even flinching. TLC show Hulk how warriors think. Now Hulk think and smash. Nirrti watched her defenses crumble with cold calculation. The Gamma creature was adapting faster than predicted, working cooperatively with Tauri forces instead of rampaging mindlessly. Her enhanced subjects couldn't coordinate effectively against combined assault. The operation was failing. She activated her emergency beacon. Aboard the second attack, gliders launched. Orbital bombardment targeting solutions calculated. If she couldn't capture the specimen, she'd ensure its destruction and salvage genetic samples from the remains. "You may destroy this facility," Nirrti announced, voice carrying supernatural resonance through ship-wide communications. "But you cannot escape. This vessel is now tomb. Your Gamma creature will die in the cold of space, and I will dissect what remains." Hulk not afraid of space. Hulk shouted back. Hulk already ironed space earlier. Space lose that fight. Carter finished arming the last C4 charge. "Sir, we've got 8 minutes until detonation." But she's right. The second mothership is moving into attack position. Death gliders inbound. We need extraction now. Ring platforms 3 levels down. Jack calculated. Through corridors full of Jaffa. We'll never make it carrying wounded in 8 minutes. Daniel had identified 5 survivors among Nirrti's victims. Humans grotesquely modified but still conscious, still capable of salvation if they moved fast enough. "We can't leave them. Jack, if we abandon them after what Nirrti did." "We're not abandoning anyone," Jack interrupted. "Banner! New plan! Can the Hulk carry people without, accidentally crushing them?" Hulk looked at his massive hands, instruments of destruction that had pulverized metal and bone. Then carefully, gently, he picked up one of Nirrti's victims, a young woman whose arms had been fused with crystalline structures. She whimpered but didn't scream. "Hulk can be gentle," he said quietly. "When it matters." "Good," Jack decided. "Because you're carrying our survivors. Carter, TLC, Daniel, cover the corridor. Hulk, you're running wounded to the ring platform. We'll hold this position until charges blow, then ring down immediately after you. Go!" Hulk gathered survivors with surprising tenderness, 5 broken humans cradled in arms strong enough to throw tanks. He looked at SG-1, at the team that had trusted him, trained him, made him more than just rage. "Hulk come back for you," he promised. "Don't die before Hulk returns." "Death's not on today's agenda," Jack replied. "Move!" Hulk moved. He crashed through bulkheads instead of navigating corridors, creating a direct path through the mothership's infrastructure. Jaffa attempted interception, staff weapons blazing, warriors throwing themselves at the green giant carrying precious cargo. Hulk shrugged off blasts, endured hits that would have killed normal humans, refused to drop his burden. One Jaffa commander targeted a survivor deliberately, hoping to force Hulk into choosing between protecting them or fighting. Hulk solved the dilemma by turning his back to absorb the blast while simultaneously kicking the commander through a wall without losing grip on any victim. "Hulk good at multitasking now," he muttered, reaching the ring platform and carefully setting survivors down. Banner would be proud. He activated the rings through sheer trial and error button mashing. White light descended, transporting the victims to the planet's surface below. Hulk watched them disappear, then turned and bounded back toward SG-1. 3 levels up, the team held a desperate defense. Jaffa reinforcements swarmed from multiple directions, staff weapon fire turning the corridor into shooting gallery. TLC's aim remained perfect. Every shot a disable or kill. Carter threw grenades to create choke points. Daniel provided covering fire while watching their 6. Jack counted down. 4 minutes to detonation. "Where's our green cavalry?" Hulk arrived by punching through the ceiling, dropping into the corridor behind advancing Jaffa and announcing his presence with roar that made several warriors reconsider their life choices. "Hulk back! Everybody run to rings now!" They ran. SG-1 sprinted toward the ring platform while Hulk served as mobile barricade, absorbing fire meant for his team, grabbing and throwing warriors who got too close, creating chaos that covered their retreat. A staff blast caught his shoulder, pain registered, healing began immediately, anger increased proportionally. 1 minute! Carter shouted. "Charges armed and counting!" They reached the ring platform. Jack activated the controls while TLC laid suppressing fire. Daniel helped Carter aboard. Hulk held the doorway against what looked like 50 Jaffa, body taking punishment that should have killed him 3 times over. "Hulk! Time to go!" Jack yelled. Hulk grabbed the door frame and pulled, collapsing the entrance and buying precious seconds. He stumbled toward the platform, moving slower than before. Even gamma regeneration had limits when facing sustained military assault. The rings descended. Nirrti appeared at the collapsed entrance, eyes blazing. "You cannot have him! He is mine!" Her ribbon device glowed, channeling massive telekinetic force at Hulk. The energy caught him mid-transport, disrupting the ring beam, trying to hold him aboard the doomed mothership. Hulk roared defiance. His fists clenched. Anger surged. Strength increased. He broke Nirrti's telekinetic grip through sheer force of will and gamma-enhanced biology, forcing the ring transport to complete despite Goa'uld technology trying to prevent it. They materialized on P3R233's surface. Above, Nirrti's research vessel exploded, C4 charges detonating in cascading sequence that tore through laboratories, hangar bays, experimental chambers. The mothership broke apart, burning debris falling toward the planet in spectacular meteor shower. The second Ha'tak immediately retreated, unwilling to face whatever had destroyed Nirrti's flagship. Hulk collapsed, transforming back to Banner mid-fall. Carter caught him, checking vitals. His skin was charred, bones cracked, breathing shallow. "Bruce! Stay with us!" Banner opened one eye, managed a weak smile. "Did we win?" "Yeah," Jack confirmed. "We won. Survivors are secure, Nirrti's research destroyed, System Lord eliminated. Mission accomplished." "Good," Banner whispered. Then passed out. TLC carried him to the Stargate while Carter dialed Earth. Behind them, the rescued victims watched with expressions mixing gratitude and horror. Saved but forever marked by what Nirrti had done. "Indeed," TLC said softly. The Hulk has become warrior. And Bruce Banner has found purpose. Above, debris burned across alien skies, marking the end of a System Lord's nightmare. The infirmary at Stargate Command had become Bruce Banner's second home over the past 3 weeks. Dr. Fraser monitored his recovery with the careful attention usually reserved for post-Goa'uld extraction cases, tracking how gamma-enhanced biology healed injuries that should have required months of rehabilitation. Burns that would have scarred normal tissue disappeared within days. Cracked ribs knitted overnight. By week 2, Banner was cleared for light duty. By week 3, Hammond approved his return to full operational status, which meant standing in the briefing room while the General presented mission analysis to assembled personnel. Operation Gamma-geddon resulted in complete success, Hammond announced, using the official designation someone in Pentagon paperwork hell had assigned. Nirrti's research facility was destroyed with total loss of vessel. Intelligence recovered from her databases indicates no backup facilities containing gamma experimentation data. System Lord Nirrti herself was terminated when the mothership's core detonated. Actually, sir, Carter interjected carefully. Takare intelligence suggests Nirrti may have escaped via personal transport rings before final explosion. Goa'uld have remarkable survival instincts. We can't confirm death without recovering the host's body. Banner's stomach tightened. The possibility that Nirrti survived, that she'd continue hunting him, continue her experiments, it was exhausting to contemplate. However, Carter continued, the destruction of her primary research eliminated decades of accumulated data. Even if she survived, she'd be starting from zero. And every System Lord now knows that Earth possesses a gamma-powered asset capable of destroying motherships. That creates deterrent effect. Deterrent or target, Jack muttered. Every Goa'uld with delusions of grandeur now wants their own Hulk. Let them try, Banner said quietly. Nirrti had hundreds of subjects, and failed every time except with me. The accident that created the Hulk involved so many random variables that replication is statistically impossible. I ran the numbers. Carter verified them. I'm unique. Which makes you valuable, Hammond observed. Dr. Banner, the Pentagon has officially classified you as strategic asset. Your status within Stargate Command is being formalized. I'm offering you permanent position as scientific consultant with SG-1, pending your acceptance. The room went quiet. Banner looked at the faces around him, Jack's cautious optimism, Carter's encouraging smile, Daniel's genuine warmth, Teal's CS approving nod. The team that had risked everything to save him, that had trained him, trusted him, made him more than the monster he'd feared becoming. I accept, sir, Banner said. On one condition. Hammond's eyebrow rose. Which is? That I'm Bruce Banner first, Hulk second. I contribute through science, research, innovation. The Hulk is emergency option, not primary strategy. I won't become the weapon everyone fears. I'll be the scientist who happens to have unique capabilities when situations demand them. Agreed, Hammond said immediately. Your value to this program extends far beyond transformation. Your work with Major Carter on Naquadah reactor efficiency has already advanced our technology by measurable margins. Your insights into ancient gamma-based systems have opened research avenues we didn't know existed. The Hulk is asset, yes. But Dr. Banner is equally valuable. Relief flooded through Banner. For the first time since the accident, someone saw beyond the monster to the man underneath. Thank you, sir. I won't let you down. See that you don't, Hammond replied, but his expression was warm. Now, about those rescued from Nirrti's facility. Dr. Fraser? The doctor stepped forward with medical reports. 5 survivors, all requiring extensive reconstructive procedures to reverse Goa'uld genetic modifications. We're coordinating with Takare healers and the best specialists Earth medicine can provide. Prognosis is cautiously optimistic. They'll never be completely normal, but they'll survive. They'll heal. Thanks to your team getting them out when you did. Banner thought about the young woman with crystalline arms, the teenager whose bones had been reinforced with Naquadah, the others whose bodies Nirrti had warped in pursuit of perfect Hoktor. Saving them hadn't erased what happened, but it meant their suffering served some purpose beyond one mad Goa'uld's ambition. What about reprisals? Daniel asked. Nirrti had allies among the System Lords. Will they retaliate? Unlikely, TLC assessed. Nirrti was tolerated but not loved. Her genetic experiments made even other Goa'uld uncomfortable. They viewed her as useful but unstable. Her loss will create power vacuum in her territories, but System Lords will be occupied with territorial disputes rather than revenge against Earth. Still, Jack said, we should expect increased interest in Banner. Words spreading through Jaffa networks about the Green Warrior who destroys motherships. Some Goa'uld will see threat. Others will see prize worth capturing. Then we remain vigilant. Hammond decided. Dr. Banner, you'll continue wearing monitoring equipment during off-world missions. Transformation protocols remain in effect. Any sign of uncontrolled rage, and you're sedated and extracted immediately. Clear? Crystal, sir. The briefing concluded. SG-1 filed out, but Banner lingered, staring at star charts showing the vast gate network connecting thousands of worlds. So many planets. So many potential threats. So many people who might need help. Jack paused at the door. You okay, Doc? Thinking about the future, Banner admitted. For years I ran from the Hulk, terrified of what I'd become. Now I'm working with him instead of against him. It's strange. Liberating, maybe. But also terrifying because I know the potential for destruction is always there. Welcome to the Stargate program, Jack said. We all carry potential for destruction. Carter could blow up a sun with the right equations. Daniel accidentally started a war by mispronouncing one word. TLC killed thousands as First Prime before joining us. Hell, I've personally destroyed more Goa'uld tech than I can count. We're all dangerous, Banner. The question isn't whether you can destroy. It's whether you choose to protect. And you think I'm choosing correctly? You jumped into space to save your team, Jack pointed out. You carried wounded through enemy fire. You fought a System Lord to protect strangers you'd never met. Yeah, I think you're choosing fine. Banner managed a smile. Thanks, Jack. That means something. Don't get mushy. We've got mission prep in an hour. P4X639 has ancient ruins that might contain more gamma-based technology. Carter thinks you'll find it fascinating. Another planet. Another gate. Another chance to discover something that changes everything. That's the job, Jack confirmed. Also the addiction. Fair warning, once you start stepping through that ring, you'll never want to stop. The universe is big, Banner. And full of things that need smashing occasionally. Banner laughed, genuine, unburdened laughter that felt foreign after months of fear. I think the Hulk will be okay with that. I think so too. In his quarters later, Banner reviewed his personal logs. Months ago he'd been running from General Ross, desperate and alone, convinced the Hulk was cursed without redemption. Now he had team, purpose, mission. The anger remained, would always remain, but channeled toward protection instead of destruction. His wrist monitor beeped softly, tracking vitals that would trigger alarms if transformation threatened. Banner looked at it and smiled. Not a cage anymore. Just precaution. We did it, he whispered to the Hulk sleeping in his cells. We found place where monsters become heroes. Deep in his gamma-saturated biology, something rumbled agreement. The next morning, SG-1 gated to P4X639. Banner stepped through the wormhole with his team, scientist and warrior both, ready for whatever ancient mysteries or cosmic threats awaited. The Stargate disengaged behind them, but ahead lay infinite possibilities. Jack clapped Banner on the shoulder. Welcome to the galaxy, Doc. Tried to keep the smashing to a minimum. No promises, Banner replied, grinning as they ventured toward ancient ruins that might hold secrets about the very energy that made him unique. Behind them, the DHD stood silent. But across the gate network, on countless worlds, threats evolved and dangers grew. System Lords plotted. Enemies schemed. Civilizations needed defending. And Earth now had a Gamma-powered protector who'd learned that strength without control was just destruction. But strength with purpose could save worlds. The Hulk would be ready when needed. Banner would make sure of it. Bruce Banner's journey through the Stargate transformed him from fugitive scientist into defender of Earth and protector of the innocent across the galaxy. What began as desperate escape through an experimental portal became integration into humanity's most classified program, a place where his unique dual nature found purpose instead of persecution. The mission against Nirrti proved that the Hulk could function as tactical asset rather than uncontrollable weapon. Banner's Gamma-enhanced biology, initially weakened by gate travel, adapted fully to this universe's physics, making him one of Earth's most formidable defenders against Goa'uld threats. More importantly, he learned to channel rage into protection, working cooperatively with SG-1 instead of rampaging mindlessly. But challenges remain. Though Nirrti's research was destroyed, her possible survival means the threat of Gamma experimentation persists. Other System Lords now know about Earth's Green Warrior, creating both deterrent and target. The NID continues coveting Banner as weapon, requiring constant vigilance against internal threats matching external ones. Yet Banner has found what eluded him during months of running: acceptance. General Hammond sees scientist first, monster second. SG-1 treats him as teammate, not liability. Even the Hulk has grown, learning mercy and tactical thinking, proving that rage tempered by purpose becomes strength rather than weakness. The ancient Gamma technology Banner discovered suggests his transformation connects to experiments predating human civilization, making him heir to research that destroyed the ancients themselves. Whether this legacy represents danger or opportunity remains unknown. What's certain is that Bruce Banner will continue stepping through the Stargate, exploring alien worlds, confronting cosmic threats, and proving that monsters can choose to be heroes. The galaxy is vast. Enemies are countless. But Earth's defenders now include a scientist who carries infinite strength, and the wisdom to use it sparingly. The Hulk and Banner, working together at last, ready for whatever missions await through the gate. Indeed. Hit the subscribe button for more interesting stories. Thank you for watching.